Yo, what up YouTube, ExplosiveMovement here, back again with yet another video. In this video today I'm going to be talking about visualization and why it is so important for athletes to do. And I'm sure you've heard about visualizing and why it's important and how thinking about something before you do it is going to help you actually carry out and perform it better in real life. But I wanted to bring up a couple studies today that support that theory, and it's important to remember that these studies are actually done on a very small scale and they're not done with like trained athletes or anything like that, but they're still interesting to look at when it comes to thinking about visualization, right? So the first study it was testing finger strength, like specifically abduction finger strength. So again, on a very small scale, they had 3 groups. The control group was one that did nothing. They had one group that did physical training to help improve finger strength, and they had another group that was they did purposeful thinking about improving finger strength, like they just thought about it, they visualized it, right? At the end of the study, control group that didn't do anything, really didn't show any major improvement to be expected. The group that did actual physical training improved by 53%, which is to be expected doing strength training. And I believe this took the course of place around a month or so, maybe 20 days. But what's interesting is that the group that they just visualized it improved by 35%. So the discrepancy between the group that visualized only and the group that did strength training wasn't too huge, and it's pretty interesting to think a 35% increase just by thinking about something as opposed to actually like training for, right? Another study that was done was actually conducted using like free throws. Again, 3 groups. One group did nothing. One group practiced like 20 minutes a day. The other group just did purposeful thinking for, I believe, 20 minutes a day. Like where they weren't just like, kind of lackadaisically thinking about it. They were really focusing, really going through the process of shooting free throws and making free throws. At the end of the study, control group, again, this I think 20, 30 days. At the end of the study, control group didn't improve at all. The group that shot free throws improved by, I believe, 25%. And the group that just visualized improved by 22%. So there the margin is even smaller between the visualization group and the group that actually practiced. So, like I say, these studies are done on a very small scale, but it's very interesting to look at when you think about visualization because, in these studies, the group that just had purposeful thinking about doing an activity improved a lot by just thinking about it, having purposeful thought towards a certain activity. So if you're an athlete, it's important to have times where, you're going through, you're thinking in your head, you're going through the motions about how you're going to get that perfect rep in practice or in a game, and you're really visualizing and imagining yourself doing everything right, being as explosive as possible or being in control, just making sure you're going through the steps in your head to, having that perfect moment in your sport, which is going to help you out a lot as an athlete. Some more anecdotal evidence is, I remember reading an article by this guy who worked with Allen Iverson, and he talked about how before games, Allen would just mention to him, like, he'd just talk about how, maybe this game, instead of doing a crossover and, driving to the basket, he would do a crossover into a step-back jumper, and he's like, I'm going to do that all game and score a lot that way. And even though he wouldn't necessarily focus on that in leading up to the game in practice, it'd just be something he'd think about in his head, like, that's what I'm going to do this game. And sure enough, when you get into the game, he'd be able to perform that, relatively flawlessly, right? So as a piece of anecdotal evidence, it's again interesting to think that purposeful thought, focusing in and really imagining in your mind, all right, I'm going to do this really well in this certain game or for this certain rep can actually, and if you do that correctly, it can help carry over into your athletic performance. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys found it interesting, this little studies done about visualization. And I will try to link the studies below in the description box, so if you want to check them out, go right ahead. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. ExplosiveMovement signing off. Peace.